Hey guys, it's me, Kryko. Welcome to a new format of videos. In these series, assuming I make more of these, I attempt to share my personal thoughts on movies. Sort of like movie reviews, but you know, a lot more personal. Okay, let's get things settled. I don't claim to be a movie critic. I'm more of just an avid fan of film and these sorts of media, and these videos are basically my way of showing appreciation for cinema. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I hope someone finds enjoyment in these videos. Anyway, The Batman. First and foremost, if you want a quick opinion, this movie's great. I recommend it. I've actually been a Batman fan since I was a teenager and the Nolan films, and I've had a short phase of being interested in collecting the comics. This movie definitely rekindled my love for it. There's just something really interesting and intriguing about the Cape Crusader's, dark adventures in his psyche, and this movie definitely did his character justice. Robert Pattinson as Batman and Bruce Wayne is such a familiar yet new take on it. Now, I won't go through Rob Pattinson's old films. We all know he's the vampire from Twilight. Let's get over that. He's a great actor. That's all I can say. He's definitely a more inexperienced Batman. He's still consumed by anger over the death of his parents. You know how it goes. But one thing I found really fresh in this film is the lack of the difference of his Batman and Bruce Wayne. Even as Bruce Wayne, he's still the same aloof, brooding character. And frankly, he hasn't even developed any social skills yet. In a way, I actually kind of relate to that. His Bruce Wayne is no billionaire playboy yet, as, he's learning the ropes of putting on the facade. And yes, I'm with the idea that Bruce Wayne is his mask and Batman is his real self. Don't judge me. He's actually kind of emo and it's great. I mean, the dude wears eyeshadow in the film. I know this is a nod to the older films. They also used eyeshadow, but they never really embraced it. I'm glad Matt Reeves owned it in this film. Something that's even more beautiful about this film is Gotham. This is by far the most visually appealing Gotham. I'm a big fan of the Blade Runner films, and this one gave me the same gritty feeling. It's always night, it's always raining in this version of Gotham. It's polluted, and everything just screams city of crime, I've also been watching countless reviews of other people, but no one seems to talk about the music. And as sort of a musician, quote-unquote self-proclaimed, this is one that I appreciate a lot, mostly because of the little details. The most obvious one is the nod to old noir films. Now, I haven't watched a lot of old noir films, but I can definitely tell that they have the same feel. The use of horns and such, and my favorite part is the subtle jazzy drums, which I noticed in this specific track. I just really love the subtle cymbals there, the one that goes... Stuff like that gets unnoticed makes me appreciate it more. Another obvious thing is that they based Batman's whole new theme on Nirvana's Something in the Way, the main song they used throughout the film. If you read articles about this film, you'll find out that Matt Reeves specifically tailored this version of Bruce Wayne to have similar traits as the vocalist and frontman of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, so yet again, a nice nod to him. Going back to the actors, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, Andy Serkis, Colin Farrell, and even John Turturro, they're just as great in this film. Paul Dano as the Riddler is a scary take on the character. I don't know if it was just me, but he's actually just as over the top as Jim Carrey's Riddler. But he actually made it a realistic insane than a cartoony insane. And I'm actually pretty confused how he pulled that off so well. Acting. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was just as excellent of a choice. She really pulled off that sexy yet badass nature of Catwoman. And not gonna lie, I actually expected Andy Serkis' version of Alfred to be, badass. Kind of like the Alfred from the Gotham series. But I have a feeling in the next movies he'll be like that, and I do want that. Alfred is normally just portrayed as a slight parent figure for Bruce, so I do want them to change that up a bit in the future. But yeah, we shall see. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon was a bit more comedic than the older Gordons, but again, I'm glad they're taking more things in a fresh path. I actually do like that they made him a more comedic Gordon. Hopefully it's just not taken too far in the future. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is unrecognizable, dude. I didn't even know that was him. I always liked Penguin being this mafia figure, so I love his performance as well. And that little cheeky thing they did where Batman and Gordon tied his legs so that he would waddle like a penguin. It was a really nice touch. I love that. Finally, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. This one I did not expect at all. Obviously from that meme earlier, I grew up watching the Transformers movies, so it kind of made me chuckle a little bit seeing him doing a more serious role. Saying that, he did pull it off really well. From what I've read, he's a great actor and he definitely nailed the role. Like, he is the power in Gotham. Anyway, what else? There's a teaser of Barry Koeghan as the Joker. I think it's confirmed already that he is the Joker in this universe. And honestly, am I the only one that hopes that they won't bring the Joker too soon? I feel like we've been getting a lot of Joker stuff recently, and I sort of want them to explore other villains first. I mean, there's still lots of cool Batman villains in the comics, you know, like Hush, Clayface, the Court of Owls, hell, even the Calendar Man, something like that. Although yes, this is a more realistic take on the Batman again, but maybe they can make something work. I've also heard people complain that this movie was a bit too dark, kind of like that one episode in Game of Thrones, but I actually didn't notice it that much. But maybe I just like dark scenes, I don't know. Also, some people say that this was a bit too long, and I kind of agree that it does drag a little by the end, but I still very much enjoyed my time with it. With that said, maybe all of this is with, you know, rose-tinted glasses and such, because I honestly miss going to the cinemas. I've only really watched 2 films since COVID started, and that was Spider-Man and this film, so yeah. Anyway, I think I rambled on enough. My final verdict is that this film is a solid Batman film. I love the fact that it's just a solid noir detective film too. It definitely has the closest feel to the comics and games, and Batman is finally once again a detective in this one. My favorite Batman film by far is probably everyone's favorite Batman film, Batman and Robin. No, my favorite Batman film is, of course, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And writing-wise, I still think it's a superior film, but I would say the Batman is definitely up there. Again, it's one of the most visually stunning Batman film out of all the films so far. And looking at the trailers again, I feel like the look is also pretty inspired by old Tim Burton movies. Anyway, I think I've said enough. Yeah, definitely go see this film if you're a Batman fan or just wanting to watch something thrilling. And with that said, thank you for watching this first review/thoughts episode of films. I'm gonna be doing more of these for sure. I actually have a list of all the films I like, so yeah, I'll do more soon. And if people like it, that's good. You know? I'm glad if people will like it. That said, thank you for watching. See ya.